All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the January 16th meeting, 2017 for the California Pirate Party. My name is Bryce, and I'm the secretary, and we're about to just jump right in. The first bit of activity that I wanted to go over was the officers report. Currently, we have the president and the secretary here. If we can check in with Orion real quick to just see um, what kind of things Pirate Party's been up to in the past couple of weeks. So why don't you go for it?
Cool. Well, this has been a pretty active couple weeks, at least on we have a chat group that is growing steadily every single day, and that's awesome that more people are joining the conversation. And so I just want to say up front that if there's anybody out there who is watching the meeting who would like to participate in our Slack channel text conversation, all things California Pirate Party, then send us a message, send us an email, and we will send you an invite to the group because there's a lot of really valuable stuff happening on the Slack channel. I guess I would say from a logistical standpoint, a lot has happened since in the last week, I guess. I've transferred we've changed over the email address, password, and given the login stuff to the people who are supposed to be going through the emails and responding to backdated messages. I've transferred the login credentials for the hosting and the website. So now we are developing strategies for updating the website and transferring it to be hosted off of Weebly, which is where I originally had it hosted. So that's happening. Let's see. I've added moderators to the Reddit page for California Pirate Party, so that's cool too. Let's see. And then there was one other logistical thing in terms of credentials. Oh yeah, the paperwork is all completed except for I haven't sent it in yet because I haven't made a final decision on the address, and the physical address of the Pirate Party is the only thing that's hanging us back. But it doesn't mean that we can't continue any of our other planned operations or stuff that we're doing. So as soon as we make a final decision on the address, the paperwork will be in. But I just want to add at this moment that my hard drive died recently. And so, Bryce, is it possible to send me any of the original documents that we created that you might have on your hard drive so that I can keep a backup copy for the future?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll go ahead and send that to you after when we're all done with this
Okay,
today.
cool. And then
So,
I guess one other thing I want to say, just in terms of updates and what's happening in the last 2 weeks, is that as many people know, this upcoming Friday is the day of Trump's inauguration. Saturday, there are planned protests all over the United States. There is a women's march in Washington, D.C., and several women's marches across the country. We highly recommend that people participate in those marches. I'm personally trying to coordinate a group of people to march in San Francisco at the Civic Center at 3 p.m. this Saturday to support women's rights and to protest the inauguration of Trump. So again, if there's anybody out there who's interested in participating in the Women's March this upcoming Saturday at City Hall in San Francisco at 3 p.m., then let us know, and we are organizing an effort so a group of people can make a Pirate Party presence at that march. And I guess, while I'm talking, last thing that I want to say is, I guess this is what some people felt like when the O.J. Simpson trial was happening and they were glued to their televisions. But I have seriously been stuck checking the news every 5 minutes for the last 72 hours. I cannot believe what has happened in the last 72 hours with the bombshell of this dossier alleging that Trump has a tit-for-tat relationship with Russia and has engaged in um, interesting behavior in hotels with Russian sex workers. I'm just gonna say,
yeah,
it's this whole thing has blown my mind, and
yeah,
I just want to put that out there because I've never seen anything like this before in my time being interested in politics.
yeah. No, it's pretty ridiculous, and I think now more than ever, it really puts the pressure on California to maintain a good political model and to act as a space for folks who live in the other 49 states that aren't able to live, whether safely or peacefully, or just want to be able to participate in with a form of government that is able to push against some of the ridiculous things that our president-elect is going to be doing. California has to be accommodating and has to be a space where folks can come in and participate. So, I appreciate all of that. And at the end, if y'all are on the Slack channel, I'm going to go ahead and post individual meeting times and locations under the meeting minutes section. So don't worry about trying to get down all the information like, oh, there's a really cool march happening this day and time. Like I'll take care of it. So you can just drop by the meeting minutes section. All right, so that was the president's report. Looks like we have our vice president now, Jorge, who's here. I'm guessing I'll probably let him take some time to just settle in for a bit. I want to do just a quick Treasury and Secretary report. I'm still in the process of transferring power from the old treasurer position that I was fulfilling since 2012 over to Laura. This Saturday, I met with the bank and had to schedule a couple of appointments in order to remove some old folks from our account, as well as ensure the integrity of our accounts, since the bank that we're banking with we had to kind of pull a few strings in order to make this account happen. Long story short, I'll be meeting with them on Friday very briefly to just go over some documents and make sure that our status is good with them. And after that, I believe we should be good to begin soliciting donations to be making some more money. I know there's been a lot of discussion, or we've kind of run into some snafus with how we're soliciting donations. So we're still working on ironing that out, but as of this Friday, we should have a functioning bank account where we can begin paying for things like server space and be getting, I really want to see about getting some ways to be able to identify Pirate Party members, so that when we do hold public gatherings and meetings, then we have something that's sort of like an identifier, so that people can be like, oh, hey, pirates kind of thing. So that's one of the pieces in transferring power over. I know that Laura assembled a really amazing, her and I have been working pretty closely and making sure that all the finances are getting straightened out. So that's actually going really well. And I think that this Friday is going to be another piece in that. Jorge, did you have anything that you wanted to go over as vice president, or anything that you wanted to check in about?
No, not at the moment. Just, hey, what's up, guys? Sorry I joined in a little late, but happy to be here. Happy to hear all of our updates and see where we're at. It is a big day Friday. I think we're all excited. And the only other thing is I'll concede to you, Bryce, and take us through the agenda. And if we have anything to add, we'll feel free to chime in.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So
Can I say something really quick?
Yeah, go for it.
Just with regards to what you said about having some sort of identifier, Sharon and I were talking about this the other day. There's a design company that has their main office across the street from our house. And I've been wanting to do this for a while. I'm thinking about chatting with them and asking them to make a Pirate Party t-shirt. And I think I'm going to do 2 or 3 designs, but I'm just going to pay for it myself and make a bunch of t-shirts, and we'll be able to wear them or give them out. And so I'm excited about that. And I think that totally helps towards that project of having some sort of public presence beyond just a skull and crossbones flag.
Yeah, that's absolutely rad, and kind of brings me into the next piece, which is the website redevelopment. In that process of redesigning the website, there's been a lot of great graphics and that have been coming out of the website design team. The note that I have here that was detailed by Zarathustra. Zarathustra noted that the credentials have been recovered and that we've been able to access the Weebly accounts. Laura has been managing the transition and has been updating the website, or updated the website with an announcement. I actually checked earlier today, and it says that we're in the process of getting things renovated, which is great. Digital Irony has been delegated as our systems engineer and is providing the server space in order to launch the new site. I also perused through the emails super quickly earlier today, and it looks like we've made contact with some folks back in 2017 who have offered to provide some software to run the Pirate Radio. So
Cool.
we talked about that for a couple of weeks ago. It looks like that could very well be a thing once the finances get ironed out and the server space gets taken care of. So we can see about having Pirate. I know that's been a dream of yours, Orion, to have Pirate Radio running. So this is we're inching closer to that. Dirtzilla has been working in web software and is it sounds like he's been carrying he's been handling a lot of the duties with the website redesign. We determined that using the WordPress theme that was developed and used by the Pirate Party would be best. And there's been some images floating around the Slack channel that sort of speak to that. Lastly, and I got a giggle in hearing this news. Some folks were on the Slack channel had reached out to archive.org. I believe it was Zarathustra had reached out to archive.org. They're a nonprofit that helps to keep websites in sort of like a museum kind of way, kind of keep them old websites so that folks can go back and revisit them. Typically, they charge about $1,500 in order to get that taken care of. But they went ahead and did that for us. Let's see if I can pull up the email for it. They went ahead and took care of that on the free, and said that that their reasoning for doing it was that they I'm trying to find it. I should have had that up. But it was something to the effect of like, we think that you guys are cool, and just took care of that for us. So,
I think that was exactly it, Bryce. That was probably
yeah,
right
perfect. No, that was that. Oh man, that just really made me smile. So thanks to y'all from archive.org. That was such a big help. Yeah, that's excellent. So the old website has been archived, and we'll be moving forward with the rollout of the new versions. So stay tuned for that. Let's see. Give me a second. Oh man, sorry, I just got a message that somebody hadn't been added. Sorry, while I'm in. All right. What else? As far as some of the other projects go, we have 2 more teams that are also just working tirelessly as well. That's the ambassador and the outreach team. Our outreach has been very, very, very active on Slack in terms of getting getting some different meetups done. Like I said, as far as the dates go,
Did we lose it?
I think someone accidentally sent a video call request on the other chat hangout.
Yeah, I think if he denies that, he should be able to come right back in, hopefully. I believe that was Laura trying to join.
Yeah, like basically the thing is with this Pirate Party chat hangout, if you can see the chat, then you're in the viewing party basically.
Right.
So I think what happened was that someone sent a video chat request on the other one, and I think he may have accidentally hit that one. So,
He's coming back.
yep. But for anyone that missed this earlier, what we've kind of decided to do today, kind of on the fly, was to, since Video Hangouts has a cap of 10 participants, we've decided to make a separate chat hangout only so that we can get up to 100 people in a chat and still have the meeting being recorded to YouTube and all that. So.
Yeah, it's at least a temporary solution for allowing more people to participate, because we'll be monitoring that group chat and translating anything from that chat to this video. Welcome back.
Thank you. I actually think that that's an important part of moving forward. I think we've got to have a different way of recording these things, and one that's just a little bit more that doesn't have as many technical problems, and that's just as accessible for other folks. So I ideally for the next week would have or for the next meeting would be able to have the whatever new piece of technology available to go ahead and do that. It looks like there were, I'm trying to pull them up right now. I was not.
Yeah, well, I mean, just on that note, this is something that I said before we went live, and I'm totally happy with finding another type of software to enable us to do these meetings. But I do kind of think I like the fact that you get to see our faces and we're actual human beings and have a conversation for the meeting. And
Yeah.
most of the text-based meetings that I've had with people in like IRC chats and stuff, it goes so long. The meetings last for like 2.5 hours, and you get very little done during that time. Actually, just having a voice conversation is much more efficient in my mind. And so whatever new type of software we use should be more inclusive and invite more people to participate. But I like keeping the personability of this format.
Absolutely. I agree with you. And I think maybe it's a question of being able to have both at the same time. For folks that do want to be able to have their faces on camera, for folks that don't, and for folks that just want to use text, I think that's very, very important.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
So we do have a couple of meetups. I was trying to get folks to send me the activities that they're doing for the inauguration day. So a couple of them to advertise. And just like I said at the beginning, I'll go ahead and post the exact address and the whereabouts on the meeting minutes channel. So no need to write it all down. In San Francisco, there's going to be a meetup on January 20th from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. At the Buccaneer. The address for that is 2155 Polk Street, and that's in San Francisco. I'll go ahead and post all that information as well. For folks who are in the Santa.
We lose him again?
I think so. I think.
Yeah, Laura tried calling in again.
Well, I think. Go ahead.
This is bad. Okay, for folks in the Sonoma County area, there's going to be a meetup on January the 20th at Ozzy's Grill in Santa Rosa. That's 799 Montecito Street in Santa Rosa. I have not received any information for events happening in the LA area or in Southern California, but when we do find out about that, I'll go ahead and post that to the meeting minutes as well. I was also informed that there were a couple of local chapters that have been made for some of the different contingencies. There was a chapter for the Greater LA Pirate Party that you can go ahead and join if you're in the Southern California area. And Laura created a Sonoma County Pirates if you're in the Sonoma County area. And I believe that there's also a San Francisco Bay Area one if you're in San Francisco and Oakland area as well. So if you'd like to find out some more about some of the more local events and ways that we're organizing locally, be looking around for those specific chapters. And as always, just tune back into the California Pirate Party for just sort of more statewide organization. Okay. The last little bits is the upcoming projects. I have on here the donation drive and voter registration drive. Those are two things that I think are, those are two things that are going to be coming up for us, especially the voter registration drive. I think Orion, maybe you and I can coordinate a little bit more on that since back in 2012, it seemed like you were handling the bulk of that. I'd like to go ahead and pick that up and see about moving that forward. And maybe you and I can just talk about some of the rules and regulations behind it.
Yeah, I mean, what we need to do for that is we need to find people who are willing to do the groundwork of the voter registration drive, and then we need to have a training session with them where we go through all of the rules, because the rules are pretty strict about collecting people's voter registrations and making sure that they're submitted and what you're allowed to say and not allowed to say when you're helping people with their registration forms. And so as long as we have a training session with the people that are going to be doing it for us, then, that's great. But we can't have people just start trying to register people to, like, you can encourage people to, when they register to vote, write in for their political party, California Pirate Party, but you can't distribute the voter registration cards and collect them from people unless you've been briefed on the rules and regulations. So that is something that you and I will collaborate on.
And I'd like to start working, especially with the outreach folks, on putting together a team to be making that happen, and some of the local contingencies. Maybe we can see about doing some kind of training through Hangouts or whatever application that we're using, where we can get folks on the same page, and then we can all go out into the communities and get people registered as pirates, because the 100,000 signatures that we need is an important goal that absolutely needs to be worked towards. As something that's just a constant, and no matter what it is that we're doing, we need to be moving towards that goal.
Okay. Yep. And I just want to interrupt you real quick. We have a question about banking. Do we have documentation on what institutions we're banking with, other official technical details?
Yeah, that's part of the transition with Laura. We made the decision back in 2012 to bank with the credit union in light of all the scandals with Chase, and now with Wells Fargo funding things like the Dakota Access Pipeline. So we made the decision to go with the credit union. We're banking with San Francisco Federal Credit Union, and I'm still in the process of, like I said earlier, of making sure that that we're able to change around some of the names that are on the banking information, as well as being able to sign up our interim treasurer, Laura, as being able to have being able to access the bank accounts. So that is in the works.
And I also assume that once the new version of the website goes live, that it will include public documentation about our bank account, the account number, all of the relevant public information, and everything that we can provide publicly, I'm sure, will be on the website.
Correct. And Laura has done a ton of work and really amazing work on creating the spreadsheet and breaking down information well better than what I could have done, whether in 2012 or in now. And so that information is, it will be getting declared, and just be keeping an eye on that if you're at all interested in California Pirate Party finances. So let's see. That is That's all I've got. That is all I have for my agenda today.
Can I add one more thing?
Yeah, go for it.
I made this reminder, or I mentioned this at our last meeting, and I think it's worth mentioning again that, you know, I get so many messages from people asking about how they can help with the Pirate Party, how they can participate. And while it is true that our #1 goal is registering people to vote as members of the Pirate Party so that we can become officially qualified, there's so much more about political participation for the Pirate Party that's involved with that. And, you know, as I mentioned during our last meeting, every time you have a conversation with someone about the Pirate Party or about digital rights or about, you know, participating in politics in a significant way, all of that helps the goal. It helps our common cause. And so, you know, Bryce and I had a lot of fun when we just advertised on the webpage to have a meetup with people to talk about Pirate Party stuff, and you know, a bunch of people showed up. And so, you know, if you are interested and active and you've got some time, then I would recommend that you create a public space where you will be for 2 hours to chat with people about pirate-related politics, or, you know, generate a conversation in your public space about California politics and about, you know, making our world a better place. And so that's, I guess, I just wanted to, if we're ending the meeting, hi Laura, how are you doing? I'm sorry that
Hi.
we have had troubles connecting tonight, but
That's okay. I found the correct buttons to push.
yeah. Okay, cool. But I just, yeah, I just want, if we're going to end the meeting, I just wanted to end with sort of a reminder that, you know, it doesn't have to be logistical stuff related to helping the party get its legs up to participate in a conversation that helps the Pirate Party and draws towards our goals, you know?
Yeah.
Yes. So there was one thing that I almost forgot about, but I wanted to comment on anyway. Someone had mentioned that on the 23rd in San Francisco, there's actually a city official setting up a community meeting to talk about the concept of setting up basic income, universal basic income in the city of San Francisco.
Wow.
And being that UBI is one of the Pirate Party tenants, I definitely think that we should try and have some, not really some representation there, but at least we should definitely have some people go to show that there is support for this. So I will try my best to go to that, and if anybody else wants to come along too, that would be great. And
Awesome.
that is on the 23rd. I'll go ahead and post a link to that in this chat here, in both chats. So
Cool.
Great, thank you, Yeah, and any San Francisco Pirates absolutely encourage you to attend that, and I think that that's really consistent with what Orion was talking about. That it's not just about you know, the voter registration drive, even though that's a major part of things. It's also about, you know, being able to discuss ideas that are consistent with the Pirate Party, and just, you know, engaging in a form of politics that makes the world a better place for Californians and folks who are, you know, now living under, you know, Trump's, you know, specialness. One more. What's that?
How PC of you.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been so nice.
Yeah. One more meeting, and then, or sorry, one more note, and then I want to just check in with Laura to see if there's anything that we missed as far as the treasurer's report. But I do have a note here that's saying that Zarathustra is going to be fulfilling ambassador duties. He has a meeting with Pirate Party USA on the 18th, which is this Wednesday. And so if there's anything in particular that you know, you would like him to cover with Pirate Party USA, you can go ahead and send any messages through the Slack channel. With that said, we have our interim treasurer here, and I just wanted to check in and see for a quick moment if there's anything that you wanted to go over in the meeting. Now that you're here.
Okay. I have posted a draft of the statement of activities in most of the transactions in our accounts. It's on the finances channel on the Slack, and I'm trying to lay things out like nonprofits do, kind of like the conventional layout of how they do things, how they organize stuff. So it is a work in progress. There is most of our money right now is restricted, which means that the donor placed any restrictions on how it's used. But there might be a possibility that that occurs. So I've put in room for if people do want to restrict how their donations are used, track that. Right now there are, we have $203.50 in the bank in savings and checking.
Yes.
Yeah.
There have been $210.50 in donations the past 4 years, and then there are about $7 of bank fees that Bryce is looking into.
That's part of the meeting on Friday. I got to get that $7 back. We wouldn't be pirates if we weren't taking money from the credit unions, right?
Wow.
Okay, I'm on to that. And then there's about $14 of transactions in and out of the account in 2012 that kind of washed out. $14 went in, $14 went out. We're not quite sure why, what category those would. If anybody knows anything, I'm all ears, so I know how to properly categorize and account for those. Looking through tax forms now to figure out how to fill everything out. There's going to be a bunch of zeros with a signature at the bottom of the page, but we need to file all those zeros anyway.
Yeah.
And then we're going to get the donations page active again. There are Nutrient Act requirements for disclosing information about who actually is behind the account. It's just rules. So anyway, we're working through that. And if anybody has any questions, I will take questions.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Laura, for that. Oh
I don't
my
have any
gosh.
questions, but I want to say thank you for all the work you've done on this, because it's not an easy job. And I know that we don't have very much money and that it's a lot of zeros, but it's still not an easy job to update it and make sure that it's all consistent.
Hey, I'm going to mention one more thing. We just got something from, I believe, someone named Scott saying, hey, can I make a shout out to our greater LA area pirates just looking to coordinate? Only see 3 to 4 of us on the map, but I imagine there may be more non-map. Maybe we can start a Facebook page or a Slack channel like this, like the SF and the Sonoma groups. So what I would say is that for that specifically, you can probably set up a Facebook page just like we've been doing for other areas, other counties, stuff like that. And then you're more than welcome to join our Slack group for the California Pirate Party in general. And I know that right now, because we don't really have like a bunch of people from each different area, we don't have separate Slack channels in our group yet. But as we get bigger and as we get, 10, 15, 20 people in each area, then we can start setting up, separate channels per county, per area. So as we start right now, we can just throw everybody into the general Slack channel. But as we start to build up, then we can start, kind of making subgroups for the different areas.
Absolutely. And I'm actually showing on the under the meet space hashtag. It's individual named Brendan created a Greater Los Angeles group, which is supposed to include Santa Barbara, San Luis Obispo, Inland Empire, and San Diego. I'm guessing that San Diego could eventually become big enough on its own to create a whole new thing, or to create its own pirate party group. But until then, I guess it's grouped up for the Greater Los Angeles group. And I will go ahead and post a link to that Facebook page, as well as the Sonoma County Pirates on the meeting minutes. That way y'all can stay tuned for local activities that folks in your area are participating in.
Can I put on my internet hat now?
Yeah.
Okay. We've been discussing on the website development channel. There are some options that we're putting together. I've put together some different logos for people to vote on. So I want to make sure that everybody who's watching this goes onto the new channel on the Slack. Right now, we're just voting on the basic shape of the logo, whether it's the bear or elements from the flag. So please go check that out. And then we're different layouts for the possible website. When we get those ready, those will go on the polls channel as well for people to chime in and tell us what they like. That's it.
Great, great, thank you. My phone crapped out for a little bit, so I didn't hear the majority of what you said. I'll have to go back and listen to it once this video's been posted. My technology has just been terrible tonight, so.
I was
Yeah.
having technical difficulties too.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to reiterate the importance of people coming out to in real life meetings like the ones that we're going to be doing on the 20th. Just to say something silly, or not really silly, but serious, I guess, is that the American Revolution started in pubs and meeting places like that in the very early stages. So it's something that you should really think about. That just talk to people, real life. Let them ask questions. Just inform them about the other options that are available. It's not just a binary, 1 and 2 system anymore for our politics, and it can't be that anymore. So just a important note to try and get out to somewhere if you can.
Totally.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that 110%.
Hey guys, it's George. Sorry to backtrack a little bit. I do want to mention what Scott said about getting someone within the greater LA. I think we are underrepresented in SoCal, so I do want to at least try to create something that is, even though it might be 3 or 4 of us right now, that can grow and eventually turn into a Facebook page. Because I do want to make sure that we are attending those events as they come up within Southern California, even if it's a person or two. So I will just go ahead and do that for us for now, just giving you guys a heads up. That way, if there are things that come up, we can go ahead and start trying to attend them to the best of our abilities. I only know the 3 or 4 in SoCal, so we're going to try our best down here to start kind of holding down our end of the deal so we can kind of grow statewide.
Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, that sounds rad. Thank you. Okay. Anything else from folks in the last little bits of this meeting?
So I guess the next one is what, February? Is it two weeks from today?
That puts us on January 30th.
Okay. Do we want to do that? Do we want to plan for just the next 2 weeks from now, Monday?
I am okay with that if you guys are.
It's good to me.
Yeah, I think that we should have a general meeting time that's consistent and that people will start to plan for.
Totally. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
absolutely.
Hey, question for you guys. Anything that we should have that we want to call out that we should be working on within the next 2 weeks? Any outstanding issues that you guys feel need to be taken care of by the next call, or is it just kind of keep working?
I guess I'm gonna say keep working. It seems like a lot of people are sharing a lot of awesome ideas and bringing their own perspective to a variety of different aspects. That's sort of what I was alluding to when I said that the Slack channel has really been doing awesome stuff ever since it started, and it grows a little bit every single day. So frankly, for me personally, school is starting this week, so the next couple weeks are going to be kind of difficult for me, but other than that, I think that making sure that we have the events planned out. I'd say as much participation as we can do for Inauguration Day events and, supporting good causes like the women's marches. For me, that's my top priority in the next couple weeks.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So we just got a question saying, is there an easy place to find meeting dates in person or otherwise, other than sifting through Slack channels? I think we do have need to start a calendar of some sort, but
yeah,
I'm not sure if one of you other guys can answer to that.
We should add a calendar to the Facebook page and use the California Pirate Party Facebook page and the Reddit page to provide dates and at least a general calendar with a lot of these things.
I agree with all that. I will. I'll go ahead and maybe some of the other folks that are either with the outreach team or with the social media team could kind of help out with assembling some calendars on both the Facebook and Reddit, and just kind of making sure that those events get stickied on their respective social medias.
Hey, if you guys need any kind of admin work or any phone calls to make, any papers to push, let me know. I'll try my best to support you guys. I know, Ryan, you're going to get busy. I do have some free time, usually daily, to work on things. So let me know. I'd be happy to help.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll back channel you.
Yeah, it sounds like between the next couple of weeks, the part that's going to be a little bit busier is handling the social media stuff. That's just kind of the way it's sounding right now. It seems like website development is handling things very, very well, and they're kind of like their own little unit. The social media, however, I think that's sort of the next step, is as our website begins rolling out and people have another a space to go to, just, you know, the Facebook page, the Twitter, and now websites. To me, that feels a lot more like just, you know, having a space where there's calendar of events and an active Reddit subreddit is the important pieces for the next couple of weeks. So that's what's on my radar. Kind of answering the original question about like things to be getting done. Definitely continuing transferring power over to Laura and recovering our $7. Also, I am still very much interested in putting together some folks to interview. I know that there was, I don't remember who the user was, but there was a person on our Slack channel that had advertised an individual who had written about universal basic income, and that this person lives in Palo Alto. And I'm very much interested in if they're available for like an hour or so to be able to interview about, you know, just sort of some questions about universal basic income. That would be just amazing in terms of like generating new content and kind of having some updates for the website. So long story short, I'm working on creating a small list of folks that we can be interviewing, just to be generating new content and kind of getting some new ideas for us to be thinking about and debating about as we kind of move more into the public sphere. So. All right. If there's nothing else, I guess we'll just go ahead and close it up today. So thank you all.
Cool. Great
See you
job,
guys.
Yeah, I think that
everybody.
went well.
See you guys in 2 weeks.
Yeah, great job. See you on January 30th.
January 30th. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.